Welcome, seekers of wisdom, to a journey into the boundaries of language, a realm where thought dances with words and reality is painted by expression. Today, we stand in the company of three monumental figures in the philosophy of language: Ludwig Wittgenstein, Willard Van Orman Quine, and P.F. Strawson. First, let us meet Ludwig Wittgenstein, a thinker whose works illuminate the mysterious ties between language and the world. Born in Vienna in 1889, Wittgenstein's life was as enigmatic as his thought. His early work, Tractatus Logico-Philosophicus, sought to establish the limits of what can be said, famously declaring that whereof one cannot speak, thereof one must be silent. Later, in Philosophical Investigations, Wittgenstein revolutionized his own ideas, suggesting that meaning arises not from static symbols but from the dynamic practices he called language games. Then, we encounter Willard Van Orman Quine, a titan of analytical philosophy from the United States. Quine questioned the very foundations of knowledge. His essay Two Dogmas of Empiricism challenged the distinction between analytic truths, those known purely by the meanings of words, and synthetic truths, those known by experience. For Quine, language is not a pristine reflection of the world, but a web of interconnected beliefs, shaped and reshaped by our encounters with reality. Lastly, we find P.F. Strawson, an English philosopher renowned for his deep engagement with ordinary language and metaphysics. Strawson, in works like Individuals, sought to show how our ordinary language provides the structure for our thoughts about the world. He delved into how the basic categories of language, subject and predicate, individuals, and properties, are foundational to human understanding. These thinkers invite us into their unique worlds, yet their themes converge: the nature of meaning, the structure of language, and its power and limitations in capturing the real. They show us that language is not merely a tool, it is the bridge between thought and existence. Let us now embark on this journey, exploring their ideas, each a pathway to the profound mysteries of human communication. Stay with me as we unravel this tapestry, thread by thread. Now, let us step into the mind of Ludwig Wittgenstein and his concept of language games, a profound metaphor for how we use words to weave meaning into our lives. Imagine life as a grand stage, where countless games are played, each with its own rules, its own players, its own purpose. This, Wittgenstein tells us, is the essence of language. In his later work, Philosophical Investigations, Wittgenstein challenges the traditional view that words derive meaning from their connection to fixed definitions or universal essences. Instead, he argues, the meaning of a word is found in its use within specific contexts, or language games. Whether giving orders, making promises, or telling stories, we are participating in these games, and the rules of each shape the meaning of the words we use. To illustrate this further, Wittgenstein introduces the idea of family resemblance. Consider a family. There is no single trait that defines every member. Some may share the same eyes, others the same voice, yet together they form a connected whole. Similarly, words do not have rigid boundaries. Their meanings overlap and interweave, like threads in a fabric. A word like game might evoke images of chess, soccer, or a child's play, but no single feature unites them all. It is in their shared, yet varied, uses that their meaning is revealed. This vision of language undermines the dream of a universal language, a single system capable of capturing all truths about the world. Wittgenstein critiques this idea by showing how language is inseparable from the life forms that use it. A word in isolation, without a game to play, is like a piece on a chessboard with no rules to give it purpose. Through language games, Wittgenstein reveals the limitations of language. It is not a mirror perfectly reflecting reality, it is an instrument shaped by culture, experience, and human need. Yet within these limitations lies its strength, the ability to adapt, to grow, and to bridge the diverse worlds of human thought and action. Let us hold this insight as we continue, moving from Wittgenstein's stage to the web of interconnected belief spun by Quine. Language, it seems, is far more than we ever imagined. Now, let us shift our focus to the intricate web of thought woven by Willard Van Orman Quine, whose work challenges our most basic assumptions about meaning. Quine takes us into the heart of uncertainty, revealing the fragile foundation upon which language and understanding rest. Central to Quine's philosophy is the concept of the indeterminacy of translation. Imagine you are a linguist encountering a completely unfamiliar language for the first time. you observe a native speaker pointing at a rabbit and saying, "Gavagai." Does this word mean rabbit? Or perhaps rabbit's ear, or even fleeting shadow of a rabbit? Quine argues that there is no definitive way to determine what the speaker truly means because meaning is not fixed, it is shaped by a complex interplay of context, behavior, and assumption. This leads us to Quine's powerful insight: meaning is not something intrinsic to words or sentences. Instead, it emerges from our interactions with the world, how we observe, interpret, and respond to the experiences around us. For Quine, language is a tool shaped by practicality, grounded in the sensory input we receive from the environment. Yet, because each person's sensory and conceptual framework can differ, the meanings we assign to words are always open to interpretation. To illustrate this, Quine introduces the thought experiment of radical translation. Picture yourself attempting to translate an alien language from scratch. You rely on gestures, context, and patterns, yet your translations are inevitably colored by your own conceptual framework. Quine uses this to show that understanding another language, or even communicating within our own, is not about uncovering absolute truths. It is about creating a workable structure that aligns with shared experience. This has profound implications for how we understand different languages and cultures. Quine reminds us that the way people see and describe the world is deeply tied to their environment, history, and beliefs. There is no perfect translation, no universal key to meaning. Instead, language is a negotiation, a bridge between worlds that can never be fully joined. Through this lens, Quine dismantles the notion of language as a crystal-clear window to reality. It is, instead, a map, useful, but never exact. As we leave Quine's web of ideas, let us carry with us his profound lesson that in language, as in life, certainty is elusive, and it is in this uncertainty that the richness of meaning truly resides. Now, let us turn to P.F. Strawson, whose reflections on ordinary language bring us closer to the heart of human understanding. Now, let us step into the realm of P.F. Strawson, a thinker who charted his own course through the turbulent waters of language and meaning. Strawson, though deeply influenced by the likes of Wittgenstein and Quine, does not merely follow their paths. Instead, he critiques them, carving out a vision of language that centers on its practical and descriptive power. Strawson offers a critique of Wittgenstein and Quine, arguing that their approaches, while illuminating, risk overlooking the everyday practices of language that make communication possible. Wittgenstein's focus on language games, Strawson suggests, sometimes fragments meaning into isolated contexts, leaving us without a unifying framework. Quine, on the other hand, casts meaning into uncertainty through his Indeterminacy of Translation. For Strawson, both perspectives miss a crucial point, that ordinary language itself provides the foundation for our understanding of the world. To address this, Strawson introduces the concept of descriptive metaphysics. Unlike revisionary metaphysics, which seeks to reshape the fundamental structures of thought, descriptive metaphysics aims to reveal the structures we already use. Strawson's goal is to uncover the categories, such as individuals, relations, and properties, that form the scaffolding of our linguistic and conceptual frameworks. For him, language is not just a tool for expression, it is a reflection of how we structure and make sense of reality. Central to Strawson's philosophy is the role of reference, the act of pointing to or identifying objects in the world. When we say, "This is a tree," we are not merely playing a language game or interpreting sensory data. We are engaging in an act of reference, anchoring our words in the shared reality we inhabit. For Strawson, this ability to refer is fundamental to language's power to connect us with the world and with one another. Equally important are truth conditions, the circumstances under which a statement can be said to be true or false. Strawson emphasizes that understanding language requires attention to these conditions, for they reveal how words relate to the world. When we analyze a statement like "the cat is on the mat," we uncover not just the relationships between words, but the reality they describe. For Strawson, this focus on reference and truth conditions grounds language in the practicalities of life, countering the abstraction found in Wittgenstein and Quine. Strawson's defense of meaning brings us back to the world we know, where language serves as a bridge between thought and reality. It is a reminder that, despite its complexities and limitations, our ordinary language is a remarkable achievement, one that enables us to share, question, and discover the world together. As we prepare to bring these threads together, let us reflect on the profound contributions of Wittgenstein, Quine, and Strawson. Their ideas, though divergent, all point to the extraordinary nature of human language. In the final section, we will tie these insights into a broader understanding of the boundaries and the possibilities of communication. As we bring our journey to a close, let us pause to reflect on the key insights shared by Wittgenstein, Quine, and Strawson, three towering figures who each, in their own way, sought to unravel the mysteries of language. Though their paths diverged, their work illuminates the profound complexities of how we communicate, understand, and engage with reality. Wittgenstein, in his exploration of language games, taught us that meaning is not static but arises from use. Words are tools, shaped by the countless contexts in which they are wielded. He showed us the beauty and flexibility of language, but also its limitations, the impossibility of a universal framework that can express all truths. His vision reveals a world where meaning is deeply tied to the practices and forms of life that sustain it. Quine, on the other hand, challenged the very notion of fixed meaning. Through his ideas of the indeterminacy of translation and radical translation, he demonstrated that language is a web of interconnected beliefs, constantly adjusted by our interactions with the world. For Quine, meaning is not an intrinsic property of words but a product of pragmatic negotiation, grounded in experience. His work reminds us that communication is always an act of interpretation, shaped by the fluid nature of understanding. Strawson, with his emphasis on descriptive metaphysics, brought us back to the bedrock of ordinary language. He argued that the structures of thought and communication are embedded in the way we use language to describe the world. Through reference and truth conditions, Strawson highlighted how language connects us to reality, providing the foundation for shared understanding. His work offers a defense of meaning grounded in the everyday, in the practical realities of life. Together, these perspectives paint a rich and multifaceted picture of language. Wittgenstein shows us the diversity of meaning, Quine the uncertainty of interpretation, and Strawson the stability of shared categories. Their ideas compel us to see language not merely as a mirror of reality, but as an active participant in shaping it. The implications of their work extend far beyond philosophy. For communication, they reveal the delicate balance between clarity and ambiguity, between shared meaning and personal interpretation. For knowledge, they show how our understanding of the world is mediated by the words we use. And for reality itself, they remind us that what we perceive and describe is shaped by the frameworks of language and thought we bring to it. As we step away from the teachings of these great philosophers, let us carry their insights into our lives. Language, in all its complexity, is the bridge that connects us across cultures, across experiences, across the vastness of human thought. Though its boundaries may limit us, its possibilities are endless. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the nature of language and meaning. If this exploration sparked new insights or questions for you, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below to share your perspective. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and share it with friends who love diving into the depths of philosophical thought.